Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Carlos.
My name is Zab.
And welcome to RTWG, Real Talk with God. Today is episode 4. Today's episode is a very sensitive topic that we're talking about to me and Zab. And today's is going to be about anxiety and depression. So, how do we kick this off, Zab?
So, we're going to start it off with the verse. That way it's more... Because I believe that it's really strongly recommended to start it with the verse.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go with John 14:27.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is just go full on strong with it about it. Anxiety, right?
Yeah.
And we all struggle with anxiety. I struggle with anxiety most of the time. Depression as well. Like it's something very big right now.
Yeah. As
well, because most of us are just anxious about a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We're anxious about our families.
Yes.
We're anxious about economical stuff, and we're anxious about what the future might hold for us.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big one.
And it's something that we really do struggle with almost 24% of the time, 7% of the time, because we overthink a lot. We're overthinkers. I'm an overthinker a lot, and honestly, it's something that I feel like I strongly relate to, because I struggled with it a lot in 6th grade. That's when I got introduced to myself into anxiety and depression.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When you got the anxiety, when you got the depression, how is it that you were coping with it?
I started smoking.
Okay.
I started listening to music that wasn't really helpful.
Okay.
And I started just to isolate myself.
Okay. By any chance, did you ever use any type of meds?
No. I didn't use meds because... Well, one, it was because I was keeping it a secret. Okay. I was keeping it more... It was a strong secret of mine because I didn't want to come out as those people seeking attention.
Oh, okay.
Because, like, at the time being, for my generation, and for your generation as well, but for my generation, it was more... Well, for my grade school, it was more like people would say it, and they'll feel bad for them and everything. I didn't want to come out like that. I was trying to keep it as secret as possible, so it doesn't come out like that. Because I saw that like maybe they're gonna think I'm just another person seeking this, seeking that.
Wow. That's...
Most people do, like, this is nothing to, like, if you really do go, like, if you feel depressed and everything, yes, you should reach out to people and everything and talk to them. And if you take meds, take the meds if they help you. But I strongly recommend talking it over with someone before anything. Because, like, I know someone that took meds and he still struggles with it. He said it helps him for a little bit. Yeah. And then he just feels it like... He goes back to having that anxiety, that depression that he feels every single time. Yeah. And then I know someone else that he didn't take meds. Well, he did take meds in the beginning. Okay. And he felt the same way. But that's when he started going to church and everything, and he completely felt free. He felt like something got filled inside of him. That meds weren't filling. That the meds weren't helping him. And I'm not saying that don't take the meds. But if it's something really, really strong that it helps you, then take them. Okay. Because like it could. So most people do get like prescription about it and everything. Yeah, that is. So I don't want to come out like saying like, oh, he's telling me not to take my meds. Yeah, anti-drugs. Anti-drugs. But if the doctor says to take them, then take them. But me personally, I feel like the medication, it doesn't help. Okay. But if you feel like strongly that the medication is helping you, take them. I'm not because it's a hard topic to talk about. Because if I say right now that don't take the meds, and one of you guys does not take the meds and something happens, it leads to problems.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like for me and my other friend, the medication didn't help.
Okay. Look, the only reason I asked you that question is because, as the verse says, seek me and don't just grab what the world is offering you when it comes to those type of situations. So with the meds, so me too. What's that? If the meds are gonna help you for that while, go for it. But you also gotta seek help from the church, from God. What's that? And what I mean by that is that if you're gonna take the meds, please be careful how much you take. Cause if just taking that recommended dose that the doctor prescribes to you is giving you that like what's the word? Fulfillment or calmness that you want to feel deep inside, and you're like, oh, I need to take more because I want to feel like this every single time. Don't do it, because you're overdoing, or more like you're giving too much medication to your body, that your body, there's a big chance that won't be able to handle it, and it won't be able to handle it, and you're gonna suffer from deep down inside. So I'm also not anti meds when it comes to that, but just take your prescribed dose only.
Amount. Take the amount that the doctor recommends, and don't overdo it sometimes, because I know it could be difficult, because like I told you, like, oh, like they tell you only take 2 a day or 1 a day, right? And what if it wears off? Like you start feeling that anxiousness, like it's for me. I started shaking. I started like just, I would lose my breath. Like I would be like completely shaking and trying to calm myself down. And I feel like people that take the meds, I feel like if they don't know how to control it, or they don't seek God for it, you're just taking material, they could take another pill, and that could lead to an addiction. Yeah, I feel like that can lead to an addiction.
Yeah, that is true. That should be addiction. And if you know yourself that you can't really handle having that bottle next to you, what's that? Give it to a parent. Give it to your mom, to your dad, someone responsible that loves you, cares about you, and okay, this is the amount that the doctor told you need, and you gotta take it. No more.
Yeah, because it could lead to something else, you know?
Yeah. Something even worse that you want to feel or suffer, might I say. Yeah. Because you're gonna suffer if you take more, to be honest.
Yeah, so now that we talked about like the material wise of what the world gives you, because like it could be drugs, it could be like, well, medication is a drug, but a biggest excuse I've heard, and it's something that I did, was smoking helps me calm down.
Oh, I heard that excuse before.
And I'm throwing the shade off to all of y'all, but when you smoke and you feel like, oh, it's because it helps me calm down and relax, it doesn't help you relax. Sometimes it does react different to different types of people. But people that have smoked and have stopped, I've seen it, how the anxiety triples. I've seen how the drugs do more effect, where when you're done, you start feeling the stuff that you didn't feel before. It doubles, it triples, it escalates more than what it was. And I feel like when we were avoiding it, like when I was avoiding it, trying to avoid it, oh, it calms me down, okay, I'm fine. But then when I stopped, I started feeling like shakiness, way more shakiness than I used to. And I know many people, like I know family members that have struggled with that and stuff that has happened, where they just, some of them regret doing it, because oh, I shouldn't have gone to this, I shouldn't have smoked weed, because like now it did me this effect. So it has a consequence. Like the material stuff has a lot of consequences. Like I can tell you right now, and I can guarantee it, if one of you guys right now has smoked just because you feel depressed, just because it changes your mood, just because it starts making you feel nice or good, what happens after you stop doing that for a while? I want to challenge you guys. I actually want to put this challenge out there. This challenge out there for whoever is watching, and if you struggle with anxiety and depression, and your ticket away from that is smoking, I challenge you to stop smoking for 2 weeks. And tell me how that helps you. And tell me how that fulfillment that you take inside and that you consume makes you feel after. Did it double? Did it triple? Or did it not do anything? Because it's something that it's a gate. They say it's a gateway drug. It could lead to something else, like because once you smoke and it doesn't do that much effect afterwards, you're gonna want to do something else. You're gonna want to do something. You want to do something
more harder.
Yeah, you're gonna want to seek more. What did the Bible verse say right now?
Wow.
Right? Exactly. Like I'm being really strong about this because it's something that I struggled with, and it's something that most 100% of the time the people watching this right now have struggled with it.
Yeah.
You're seeking the material wise, but you're not seeking what God has for you. And this is where now we're gonna start talking about that. The fulfillment that God places on you and takes away that depression.
Yeah.
Or helps you handle it and calm it down. Because we're human, we feel emotions, we feel all the stress, we feel all this anxiety. But God is God is not a gateway drug.
Nope.
God is the way.
Yes. The way,
Yahweh.
the truth.
Yahweh.
He's the way, the truth, and the light. Wow. Okay, so now that we put on the cons of when it comes to the material, the worldly stuff that gives you to try to calm it down and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Now let's go to what God is. What's that? What He gives you. What's that? God, He gives you that calmness, that fulfillment for eternity. Not for those couple of seconds that the worldly stuff gives you. For eternity. He's always gonna be there for you. What's that? He's never gonna leave you. And I know sometimes people might feel that, how can I put it? Because I felt it before, way before. The way that I want to explain it is when you hear worship music, when you read the Bible, or when you go to church, what's that? And you're either depressed or have anxiety, you feel that fulfillment for that short while. What's that? That's what that is. It's a little fire that is growing inside of you. That what you need to do is to keep putting more wood. And what that wood is more worship music, more reading your Bible, more going to church, serving your church,
fellowshipping.
Fellowshipping. Thank you. What else? What else is there?
There's a lot. Like how you said, worshiping, gatherings, fellowshipping. Anything that includes God in the equation.
So that's more wood to that fire.
That's more wood that you're adding to your fire.
It's gonna bring you such calmness and fulfillment that once you see that worldly stuff that you used to do before, you're gonna see it and you're gonna be like, you know what? I don't need this anymore. Because I got God. I got His way, His path. And His path is it's 100 times, eternity more times better than whatever the world gives you. But in that case, we are the ones that have to choose and seek forward to those things.
Yeah.
Because if we don't, then it's like,
how do you expect yourself to be set free from something if you're not seeking the right way? If you're not seeking God?
What's that phrase? There's a saying, and it goes, if you're sick, right?
Yeah.
If you're sick, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to a doctor, right?
Sana cosita rana.
No, but you're gonna to a doctor, and the doctor's gonna prescribe to you this medication, right?
Yeah.
Well, if you want to get better, what are you gonna do? You're gonna take the medication, right?
Take the prescription.
Right? What's that? And if you don't, what's gonna happen? You're gonna get worse.
Yeah.
So the same thing is right here. What's that? You're having these attacks, these depression, all that. What's that? You're gonna go seek God, and God's gonna give you what you need. But He's gonna give you what you need. But if you don't take it, then you're gonna get worse. Way much worse.
Like all the stuff that God is showing you and all the stuff that's being handed to you, like no, like how about this makes me feel better. This I like how this is better. This is kind of easier. That's kind of like has too many rules, too many satisfaction. Like it's a whole different set of levels where they want to make God as if it's not, if it's right here and the stuff of the world is right here.
Yeah.
In a sense, like how I said, like with the smoking and everything, it's more easier. They're like, oh, it's more easier to just smoke and relax myself for a little bit. With the God thing, I gotta be more consistent. Yes, I'm gonna be honest. When you have the consistency in the thing, you gotta put in the work, and then it just becomes a habit. It's the same thing as working out. How we talked about in the previous episode or the previous one, how when you put in the work, later on it's gonna be like a daily routine, a daily habit.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Like you want to make sure that you seek the help that you really need instead of seeking the easy way out. So there was this guy, a coworker, and I love how he mentioned it because he knows I'm a Christian and he throws stuff at me sometimes. He tells me. So I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to do a shortcut on like just to jump a fence so I can get to him, and he told me I was fine, did like nothing, but he told me don't take shortcuts, and I was like, why not take shortcuts? Like, I mean, it gets there easier. Yeah. But not everything in life is shortcuts. It's like, it's the same thing how you tell me, with God, there's no shortcuts. And I was like, oh, snap, he got me. I was like, oh, he got me. And it's true. There's no shortcuts into having the answers or having that fulfillment. Right? You're taking a shortcut where you want to feel that fulfillment, like just by smoking. Oh, it has the effect right now. What happens after? It disappears. Yeah. Right? And for me, like, I'm gonna say a quick thing. So, 8th grade, that's when I started going to church more and more involved, talking more to my youth and everything, my youth pastor, and I was filled with I was so anxious, so depressed. A bunch of other stuff started happening, and I just felt I isolated myself. And then he told me, like, seek God and you will see and you will feel that'll be out. Just let it out. And I was like, okay. So we went to this camp, and it was more like a mission trip. We went to Ensenada, and then something part of me was like, I'm gonna just give it to God. Like I can't be feeling this depression. I can't be feeling this anxious and this much anxiety. And I also can't be just trying to seek shortcuts into just smoking. Okay. So I gave it a chance. I said I bawled myself out. I was crying. I'm sorry, God, I messed up. I can't handle it anymore. I can't. This is something that I can't handle on myself. I can't do it on my own. Like, I'm trying to find a way. I'm trying to seek the answer in the quickest way possible. But I can't do it alone. I really can't do it alone. Like, everybody's telling me that you can help me. I know you're there for me. Like, I'm done doing this battle on my own. Not gonna lie, I felt something like if all this weight that I had, you know, like when you're in school and you have all these books and everything, right? Yeah. I felt like if I took that backpack filled with big giant books, and you felt more. I felt more light. Like maybe it was because of crying, Nah, I'm really kidding.
Maybe.
It was more. It was God. It was God that honestly, like, I found a peace.
Okay.
And that was when, like, I was like, I learned I need to seek. So, here, there's another verse that we are gonna talk about. It's just loading up though. A couple seconds. Okay. Here. How about you read this one?
Alright, so the second verse is Psalms 118, verse 5. And it goes, out of my distress, I called on the Lord, and the Lord answered me and set me free. So, what does it say? It says that you gotta seek Him, ask Him that you need help, and He is gonna answer you, and He will set you free from anything. Remember, through God, anything is possible. Nothing is impossible to Him. Everything is possible through Him. Alright? I want you guys to keep that in mind. And then I also want to say as well, this journey that we take when it comes to following God, it's all about seeking Him, finding Him, asking Him questions. It's all about that, and it's all about Him being with us and Him being on an everyday thing. Always with us. Because there's going to be times where He's not going to be with us, that we feel He's not going to be with us, but He is. And those times that you don't feel like He's with you, just say out loud, like, hey Lord, where you at? Where you at? And He's gonna answer you. He's gonna answer you real quick. Real quick.
God's timing is always perfect, and God knows the timing. And He's with us, like, no matter what. Like, Psalms 23, it talks about it. He says, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, your robe and your staff comfort me. That's my favorite verse, and it got me through a lot. Because, like, even though, like how you said, like, maybe we're just alone and we feel like God's not there, God is there. He covers us with His robe and His staff.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we walk through this whole life of sin, because I see that it's like, even though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, even though I'm walking with the world and it's all dark and there's no light, He's still there. That's how I see that verse a lot. Like comparing it to this generation and everything, you're out there, you're doing a bunch of stuff, and you feel like you don't have worthiness or that sense where God, like, you don't, like, I don't deserve you. Like, I don't deserve you. Like, I've sinned, I've done this, I've done that, yet you still comfort me. It was like how you said, like when a parent loses their kid, right? Like he goes and he seeks him. He goes and finds him. We sometimes we sometimes are that kid that we just run around, and he's our Abba. Abba means father. Yeah. He's our father, and he goes and he's like, hey, it's okay, I'm not gonna get you in trouble, just
come back.
And it's something that it's real. We feel depressed sometimes because we feel like no one's there, or we feel depressed because we feel like nobody cares about us, or that I don't matter. Why am I here? Oh, they told me this, they told me that. Oh, they don't love me. They don't care about me. Why am I here? You have all these questions to yourself that you feel like you just feel worthless. But I find it so cool and so loving that He still comforts us. He still goes and seeks us.
Yeah.
All we gotta do is just go for Him first. It's the honest truth. Like I'm not gonna lie to you. Like sometimes, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys either. Sometimes I feel alone too. Sometimes I feel depressed. But it's what I do. If I seek more the depression, or do I seek God first? Do I seek that comfort first, or do I seek what the world is gonna handle? Do I want to be set free from all these emotions? We're human. I'm straight for real. We're human. I feel these emotions. You feel those emotions. You guys feel those emotions. And sometimes we don't know how to react on them. Sometimes most people go out and drink. Most people go out and smoke. Most people do stuff that is not what God... It's not what God deserves. But yet He still goes and He still comforts us when we're still sinning, we're still going through everything. When we feel depressed and we seek Him, I feel happy, bro. I feel that comfort. Because I could just be out there smoking. I could be out there trying to party and everything, but when I'm alone and I feel like no one's there, I could be friends with someone. Oh yeah, I'm your friend and everything. I don't know if that friend later on is just gonna walk away, is not gonna care about me or nothing. When I know that God cares about me when I'm alone, He sees me, He knows what I'm going through. And He still goes and He comforts me that, hey, everything's gonna be okay. Hey, read your Bible a little bit more. Read a couple pages. Listen to worship music. Just talk to me. I'm here. I'm listening. There's times where I put worship music and I just right there in my room and I'm worshiping. Sometimes tears fall out. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel glad that I'm letting it out with Him than letting it out with drinks and with smoke. And I feel that's something that you guys need to do as well. And it's a seriousness about it. This is why it's a really hard topic, because many of you guys might say, I'm fine, I'm happy. Are you really happy with yourself? Are you really happy with what you're doing out there in the world? Are you happy about the choices you're making? Are you happy about the way you're living? Is God included in your daily routine? Is God in that situation when you're feeling down? You know, we're out of words because it's the honest truth, bro. Like, this is something that many of you struggle with, bro. Like, there's a couple youth that have came to me and have told me, like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I just tell them, just talk to God. But sometimes it's not. Sometimes you feel it's not that easy. It's not that easy. It is easy. Close your eyes and just speak.
I want to add on that part. Yeah, some people might say it's not easy to talk to Him, cause cause I would thought this myself. When I would go through some anxiety attacks or some little depressions that I would have here and there and all that, I would feel like I need to talk to someone. I need to talk to someone. And yeah, I could talk to God, and I could look up there, look wherever I want, because He's everywhere. But sometimes you need that physical person to be with you. And it's alright. It's alright to wanting to have that physical person, but be careful who you say this to. Don't just grab any friend that is gonna tell you what you want to hear, cause that's not God. God is gonna tell you what you really, really need to hear. That is gonna hurt you, but it's gonna be like, you know what? You're right, Lord. You're right on what you're saying. You're telling me. You're right. I gotta leave this. I gotta go do this. So what I mean by that is, if you have a friend that is a Christian, go up to them. Or if they could tell you, hey, you know what? I have a youth pastor. Go up, tell him, hey, you know what? Can you present me to him? I really want to talk to him for like some things. Go for it. Please do. Please do. Because sometimes you do need that physical person, but it has to be the correct physical person. that you're gonna say these type of stuff. It can't be just anyone, not even your parents sometimes. So it has to be someone that believes and has that faith in God, that knows that once you talk to that person, whoever is the Christian, the youth pastor, or even the main pastor, that something will change in your life, and you're gonna change yourself, and you're gonna see it.
I know that, like, most of the people that are probably watching this, it's okay to be afraid to speak up and say, you know what, I don't feel good. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I need to just let it out. I need to talk to someone. It's okay to be afraid sometimes, but it's not okay to keep it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because that keeping it in, it's just gonna boil and boil and boil and boil, and
Yep.
you're just not gonna feel. You're not gonna feel like this enjoyment or this peace that God really does give to you.
And by the time it's gonna be too late.
Suicide rates went up a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that this does reach out, and if you guys share it to someone that does go through it. There's a lot of people that don't speak up and do commit suicide. Sometimes it could be a friend, sometimes it could be a family member, and they just can't handle it because they want a shortcut of their life because they don't want to feel it anymore. And sometimes it's not. Don't be taking shortcuts.
No.
So I'm gonna try to leave a number down on this video where my youth pastor told me that it's so that you can talk to someone and just talk to them, like, hey, what's going on? Like, just talk to me. It's a Christian, like, hotline.
Okay.
Where you can just talk about God and just fill yourself up with what you need. Don't fill yourself up with smoke or with alcohol, because that could just lead you into doing worse stuff.
Or meds as well. Don't overdo it. También. Don't.
It's a really hard topic to talk about. So
yeah, so hard to. I kept quiet almost all the time because I'm like, damn, this was cooking everything.
I'm not trying to cook it. It's just so in 6th grade, there was a time where I felt boiled, and this is where I feel like it's kind of good to say too, but I felt boiled that to the point where I did wanna kill myself, and I didn't care. I was tempted to do it, but I didn't realize. I don't know. I just didn't realize it at the moment. I mean, thank God I didn't do it. Thank God the day I was gonna do it was the day where my family was actually here. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. And then the next day, I guess a friend noticed because I would always I'll scratch myself like right here on the bottom, and I'll go like this because like when I just fell down, I would just scratch, and he looked at it, but I would always wear hoodies to try to cover it, and they brought it up to one of the counselors, and that's when they put me into that situation. My parents knew, my brother knew, and it was a whole situation, and that was when I was in 6th grade, bro. Imagine how many more people would struggle with that right now. Because back then we were introduced barely into phones, tablets, right? I wasn't a tablet kid. I was mostly like just outside playing board games. But now, there's more ways to make someone feel worse, make someone feel like crap. And maybe our generation doesn't want to hear this, but we're the most sensitive generation right now. We are.
Yes, we are. We are.
Someone puts a picture of you, someone puts a video of you, don't like it, spreads around, could lead to something worse. One little text saying, hey, I want to fight you just because, like, because you're just this and that. When this and that happens, it's like, you guys might say, no, I don't see it. Open your eyes a little bit more and you will notice it. This is the world that we live in, but you have a choice to either seek that fulfillment, the true fulfillment, or seek the other fulfillment. That's only temporary. And that's just something that, like, I just hope that whoever sees this and whoever shares it and whoever understands it, just know that, like, you have a purpose for every little thing. Everything has a purpose.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like, Carlos has a purpose. I have a purpose. You guys have a purpose. Every little thing has a purpose. Everything is designed for something. Example, the orbit, the solar system. Sorry, I'm a science. I'm trying to get into science. But if the Earth was a little bit closer to the sun, we would be burned out. If we were further away from the sun, we would turn cold. God knows that precise measurements. God knows what precise time. God knows what precise things you're gonna do, because He knows what you're made of. But like how we talked about the other one, we have free will and we have our own purpose on anything. Don't worry about what the future happens. Don't worry about anything that is gonna make you just feel like you don't belong here. You were created by the most amazing person or amazing being.
Yeah.
Amazing being. That He knows every little count or every single hair of your head, my head, their head. Like everything. I'm gonna close it with this, because it's something that I want you guys to know, that if you guys do struggle with a bunch of thoughts that maybe my life isn't going anywhere, this one. It's Jeremiah 29:11, and it says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope." And I'll repeat that. To give you a future and a hope. He knows your plans. He sees it. You just gotta trust Him and you gotta seek Him.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Amen.
Depression might come around the corner, but it depends how you handle the situation. And we talked about that before with the choices. Depends how you handle the choice that you make. Are you gonna be collecting rotten apples? Or are you gonna actually get clean, washed fruit to eat? And I believe we gotta close it with that, because we're running out of time. So, how I said before, I'm gonna leave the number of the Christian hotline. And also, last thing I want to close with is just find that fellowship with someone that you can let out and talk to God. If you don't talk to God, I really hope you do. Because if it's helped me, if it's helped Carlos, if it's helped multiple people get out of a situation where you're not here, I really hope it does. And I know it will. Include God in your equation of everything. Even when it comes to seriousness or joking around. Include Him in every little thing. So please speak to someone. Don't be afraid. Don't try your very best to not be afraid to open up to someone when you feel that when you feel like you have no purpose, when you feel that you're fully filled with all this bad stuff, because that's just what the enemy wants. He tells you all these lies where it makes you feel down.
Mm-hmm.
He says, oh, just take a drink, just take a smoke. It'll help you. But you're just damaging yourself. So that was all we had for today. That was the end of episode 4. And we will catch you guys on episode 5. And again, I'll leave the number down. If you guys need someone to talk to, if you guys can't find no one, I'll leave the Christian hotline on either right here, or I don't know where the camera is at, right here, or even on the comments, on the description. So we'll catch you guys back on episode 5. And again, how I say, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. We'll see you guys. Peace.